You guys watch this. Don't try this at home.
I think it's important for our kids to understand that mommy and daddy love each other.
Something was deeply, horrifyingly off.
Stars of the hit reality show 19 Kids and Counting, their son accused of sex abuse.
Cult activities.
A cult.
One of our children made some really bad choices.
Their oldest son, Josh, touching multiple victims inappropriately.
The Duggars were hiding a secret so twisted it took years just to be believed.
Jennifer, how would you like to have a little brother or sister?
At first glance, they were the dream. Smiling kids, homemade bread, Bible verses on the fridge, 19 kids with names that all start with J. Meanwhile, behind the camera,
We're victims. They can't do this stuff.
Regroup. We are fine whether they film us or not.
this is how we let a family built on fear and control into our homes, our screens, our trust, and called it good values. So let's rewind. 2008, TLC was printing reality TV gold. They'd already struck cringe oil with John and Kate +8 and needed something bigger.
Stop playing toys and come help. You stand here, I have to go ahead. Playing with toys instead.
Literally. And that's when Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar came in.
We are expecting our 20th child. Yes, yes. We are due in April and just thrilled.
19 kids, no TV, no pants, and absolutely no premarital touching. The kids were raised on a strict diet of modesty, scripture, and tater tot casserole. The parents were part of a fringe evangelical group called the Institute and Basic Life Principles. We'll get to that. It's actually worse than it sounds. But back to the brand. TLC pitched it like a wholesome alternative to Hollywood filth. Look, they pray before dinner and do chores voluntarily. Meanwhile, the average viewer was like, why does this feel like Christian Handmaid's Tale?
Amy gave me some pointers, which was kind of weird. She shared some pointers to me like this and do that and all that. So I was like, nah, whatever. When it came down to it, we figured it out.
Still, it worked. 19 Kids and Counting became one of TLC's top shows. Millions tuned in for weddings, births, gender reveals, and awkward side hugs. The Duggars went from Arkansas weirdos to America's smiling, denim-skirted poster family. But underneath the hairspray and matching polos, there was rot.
The idea that you weren't paid and yet your wedding attracted 4.4 million viewers. You were, in many ways, the stars of the show.
Yeah, even the show soon after that was named Jill and Jessa Counting On, and we still weren't seeing income, even at that point.
Female minor claimed that Josh touched her breasts and genitals while she slept. In Touch magazine says charges were never pressed.
Let's talk about Josh, the golden boy, the firstborn, the future politician. In 2015, a police report from 2006 exploded online. It revealed Josh had molested 5 underage girls in 2002 and 2003. 4 of them were his sisters. He was 14, they were as young as 5. The family didn't report it for over a year, and when they finally did, they went to a cop friend. And that guy, later convicted for possessing, you guessed it, child pornography. Can't make this stuff up. And when the news broke, TLC yanked the show faster than a Duggar teen pulling away from a frontal hug. But the damage had already been done.
The rise and fall of the Duggar family has captivated millions. The 19 Kids and Counting stars once attracted a huge TLC audience. And then their world came crashing down around them. Viewers eventually learned that not all was as it seemed, as the double life of many members was exposed and scandal tore their family apart. The major turning point came when Josh Duggar admitted to sexually abusing girls as a teenager, including his own sisters, Jill and Jessa Duggar. His family stood by him as he apologized, which stirred up major controversy and hate.
You raised your kids in isolation, you taught them shame, you built an entire public image around moral superiority, and then you let your son keep living in the house with his victims. Not even a few months later, Josh got exposed again, this time in the Ashley Madison hack. He had not 1, but 2 accounts. Also a secret OkCupid profile, and he used a fake name from a Christian fantasy novel.
after hackers of the infidelity website Ashley Madison exposed millions of users, including Duggar.
This guy was LARPing his affairs.
Not only was it a betrayal against me, but it was also a betrayal for those that call themselves Christian, and to vow before God to be loyal to each other, and that loyalty was broken. My only hope was to cling to my faith, because I know if I went off of what I was feeling, I would turn a mess into a disaster.
His excuse was, I had a secret addiction? Really? Sure, Josh and me and half the planet are secretly married to Chris Evans. He checked into rehab, not for cheating, not for being a predator, for faith-based healing. Again, can't make this up. Fast forward to 2021, Josh is arrested again. This time, the charge is federal, receiving and possessing child pornography. The material was described as among the worst the investigators had ever seen.
In touch. Then he was accused of battery by a porn star and sued, and his name appeared on the controversial website Ashley Madison. After these incidents, he admitted he was addicted to porn and checked himself into rehab.
He was convicted, sentenced to over 12 years, and yet somehow that's still not the darkest part of this story. Here are some cringe moments you might have missed, because rewatching this show with all of this in mind is like finding a horror movie hiding inside of a Hallmark card. Season 10, Jessa's wedding episode. Josh leans into his sister and says this.
That's one thing. Do you think you would tell your family?
We might not. We might keep it a secret.
I think we can probably pry it out of you.
I don't think you can keep a secret.
The dare is on.
Well, it was supposed to be cheeky, but now it's bone-chilling. Jim Bob grabs his daughter's hand and says, I poured my life into her. Romantic music swells. But it lands more like, I own her.
I poured my life into Jessa in the same way it was with Jill.
Here's the thing TLC never told you. The Duggars weren't just religious, they were disciples of Bill Gothard, the founder of the Institute and Basic Life Principles, a man who taught that women should never say I, only we. The children shouldn't question authority, that eye contact is rebellion, and that rock music opens the door to Satan. Oh, and Gothard? He was accused by 30-plus women of sexual misconduct. Many were teenagers. He stepped down in disgrace, but the Duggars kept following his teachings like gospel.
Joy Simmons and Jennifer Spurlock are two of the many men and women who have made sexual abuse accusations against Bill Gothard, who ran Institute and Basic Life Principles for over 40 years.
This wasn't just about Josh. It was about an entire system that shielded him. A system that raised kids in a bubble, shamed them into silence, and called it God's will. And where does that leave us?
What's the math problem?
Number of the 19 kids who share a middle name with each other, X. Number of years Joy and Austin have been married. Wait, number of the 19...
Times the number of years Joy and Austin have been married.
We've been married 2 years.
2.5.
TLC tried a spin-off, Counting On, but after Josh's child pornography conviction, even that got canned. The Duggar brand is radioactive now.
Counting On is coming to an end amid Josh Duggar's child pornography case.
Some of the kids have broken free. Jill wrote a book. Ginger moved to LA and traded skirts for skinny jeans. Others are still deep in it, raising their own large families under the same rules, the same hierarchy, the same fear.
You were this approval hunter, this rule follower. You were hell-bent on being the perfect daughter. And I find it fascinating that that same girl is the one who is now really leading the charge.
The public is finally catching up. In 2023, Amazon Prime dropped Shiny Happy People, a docuseries that cracked the Duggar image wide open. And the fans, they watched it, they laughed, they joked about 19 kids and no chill. But this wasn't quirky, it was abusive, and they let it happen in their living rooms for over a decade. Here's the question no one at TLC ever asked. What happens when you raise 19 kids to obey without question? What happens when one of them becomes a predator? What happens when the others aren't allowed to speak? This was definitely a warning that the entire world missed. If you're still here, thanks for watching. I know this one was a little heavy. If you want more honest, uncomfortable deep dives into stories like this, hit subscribe. We won't sugarcoat it.